That's great. Boy, I tell you, is that Herman Cain guy anywhere around here? This looks like HC headquarters.
This is pretty legit here.
I love it, love it, love it. Hello, Larry. How are you? Nice to meet you.
I'm interning for you here in the States.
Thank you, sir. Love it, love it.
Thank you for running.
All righty, thank you. Greetings, greetings.
Honor and a privilege to introduce to all of you the next President of the United States, Mr. Herman Cain.
I can tell you how thrilled we are to be here to open up our headquarters. This is my 23rd time since January 1st that I have been here. We were in Davenport for a luncheon today. It was a standing room only crowd. Had a great time with the Scott County Republican women. And we wanted to be here for this event today so we could thank you for all of your support. And I'll tell you one other thing that is definitely connected with people. Somebody who has never held political office before is connected with people. This is the one where I outline my approach to many of the issues we face. National security, the economy, entitlement spending, immigration, and on and on. And it's very common sense. And then I've just released another little booklet that you can get to at hermancain.com. It's on leadership. I explain to people how I plan to lead this nation, which is the same leadership approach I've used when I was at the Pillsbury Company, or Burger King, or Godfathers, or the National Restaurant Association. It has worked in all of those situations, and I happen to believe it'll work coming out of the White House. My guiding principles for my campaign, which will be the guiding principles that I will use as President of the United States of America. Let me just do a couple of them as an example. Number one, do what's right. Second, help those who help themselves. The problem with too many of the social programs, they have gone from assistance programs and they now are referred to as entitlement programs. No, they need to be restructured. If somebody's willing to help themselves, guess what? Then I believe that as a compassionate nation, I don't mind helping people. But I will not continue to promote programs that makes Uncle Sam look like Uncle Sucker. We have got to stop being suckers. Guiding principle number 4. Success is your choice.
Yeah. Yes.
And so is failure. You can choose to succeed or you can choose to fail. People who want to play oh me, that won't work with a Herman Cain presidency. America is going to choose to be the greatest again in all of the areas that we are, or some that we have lost. Number 5, ensure a level playing field for all. That's the role of government. Just keep the playing field. Number 6, work on the right problems and the right priorities. 7, ask the people closest to the problem. My staff has gotten so used to this that before they even ask me a question, they already know what I'm going to say. Have you talked to the people closest to the problem? You don't come up with answers in an ivory tower. You don't come up with answers in a classroom. If you want to know what people are looking for in a job, go talk to the people that are unemployed. If you want to know what we need to do to put fuel in the engine of this economy, let's go talk to business people. And more importantly, listen to them. Listen. Number 8, remove communications confusion. I think it was Harry Truman who popularized the statement, if you can't convince, confuse. Do we have any confusion in Washington, D.C. right now? The Cain approach will be explain, clarify, and convince. Look for low-hanging fruit first. But let me give you an example. We have multinational companies that have generated profits in other countries. If they bring those profits back, they're going to be taxed again when they've been taxed in the country where they were generated. So what do most smart business people do? They leave those profits there as long as they can. They reinvest in the countries where they were generated. So as a result, they don't bring a lot of that money back home. This is what I mean by low-hanging fruit. Because of our messed up tax code, the money stays over there. So we're not going to get revenue from it anyway. So why don't we take the tax on repatriated profits to zero? And some of that $3 trillion will come back home. That's what I mean by a no-brainer. It's low-hanging fruit. It just takes a little bit of common sense to do it. Number 11. This one was popularized by former Senator Everett Dirksen. When Congress feels the heat, they will see the light. I often get asked by skeptics, well, some of your ideas sound all well and good, but you don't know how Washington works. My response is, yes, I do. It doesn't. And number 12, don't worry about who gets the credit. And on behalf of everybody that's affiliated with the Herman Cain for President campaign, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming out today for the grand opening, and thank you for all of the other hard work that we know we have, ahead of us. Ronald Reagan used to remind us that freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We can't pass it on in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our grandchildren what America used to be like. I'm not going to have that conversation with my grandkids, and I don't think you want to have that conversation with your grandkids. God bless you, and thank you so much.